Hello and welcome to the Blackout podcast where I get to talk to amazing people who do amazing things. I'm so freaking excited because it's so colorful. I have my friend, the founder of Puzzle by Crime, awesome human being, and someone like your accent just reminds me like of one of I love South Africa, so obviously. Lize, thanks for coming to the podcast today.
Thank you for having me, Israel.
Okay, I want to just, because it's so colorful. So let's talk about Puzzle by Crime. What was the idea behind it and how did you create this business?
Well, it's all started because I have a passion for crime, understanding criminals and learning from them. So for the purpose of improving the world, as well as educating ourselves and others as to how to not become victims. So that's why it's my passion. I've worked within law enforcement and intelligence agencies my whole life, so it is dear to my heart. But one day I read something that said you should find something that you're passionate about, that is healthy, and that can maybe make you money, and pursue that. And I was thinking about it for a while, and I thought maybe yoga instructing, it's the new trend. And then I thought, I'm not that passionate about yoga.
No.
I enjoy it, but not that much.
Right.
So then I thought of being a swimming instructor, and I actually did the first aid course, started all of that, and that didn't end up working out, didn't have the resources and all of that back home. But one morning I woke up and I thought, puzzles, they're good for the brain, they're good for mental health. I'm passionate about crime, and maybe I can bring the two things together. So it took me a while, about 2 years, before I actually put a picture to this thought. And eventually designed the images, did a bit of research as to how to get the website going and who I'm going to include in all of this. And eventually just designed them and found some suppliers and got it done.
It is so pretty. I love colors. I'm touching my mic, sorry. Cut this part out. Okay. It is so pretty. And that's what stands out for me, the colors. But before you get into the making and all that, how did you decide on which characters were going to be on each puzzle?
Well, because I wanted it as a puzzle series, so we've got puzzled by gangsters, puzzled by drug lords, puzzled by fraudsters.
Right.
So the most infamous characters for that, to speak to a larger portion of the population, people that know them. So that's why.
Totally, because I see Puzzle by Terror is Ted Unabomber, and Puzzle by Gangsters is John Dillinger. But it's kind of crazy because this, I watch too much TV, and every time I see the characters, I'm like, there's a film about that person. They actually did most of those things, and sometimes when I read that Wikipedia or whatever, and then watch the movie, I'm like, what they did was even more worse or more interesting than what is actually in the movie. So let's talk about the actual process of making it. So you think of the characters and stuff, and then do you with the design, is it sent away, or how is that done?
Yes. Now I don't physically have a puzzle machine. Unfortunately, I don't have such a big printer and cutter. But they are wood puzzles, depending on which supplier I use. So I've got one in America and one in China. And I just send my image to them and get it made and delivered.
Do you have a favorite of all these characters?
My favorite, which I don't have here because I sold him at a market this weekend, is John Wayne Gacy.
Oh, okay.
He's this image of this clown, and he's got 3 layers of teeth, and it's just looks terrible.
Puzzles freak me out because How many? Yeah, 1,000. Like, I, when,
Some people build them in a day.
no.
Takes me a bit longer, but that's also why I made them. 1,000 piece doesn't take too long. It's not, believe me, it doesn't take too long. It doesn't get frustrating, but it takes long enough to actually enjoy it. You know, you're not wasting your money if you buy it because it keeps you entertained for long enough. And
Gosh.
and that's why I've got all the colors in it.
Yeah, the colors are
So-
great.
The story behind the colors is, first of all, it does make it more enjoyable because you can collect those colors and
Build it in that
you
area.
enjoy it more. I find that I enjoy them more because the black and white ones are extremely difficult. The dull colors are very difficult.
Oh.
But so here you can kind of group together the purples and the blacks and the
Right,
turquoise.
like with the lady,
Yeah.
you can be like all the blacks can kind of go
Yeah,
there.
you
all
know
the,
kind of where it's gonna
right.
go. So you build it in
Wait.
sections.
Are the names also on the thing? On
Yes.
the
Yes.
okay, at least
The names, the logo, everything.
you
yeah.
can kind of build out the name. So like
first go for that.
what
But
to understand though,
Hmm.
the more the number of puzzles, the more difficult it is, right? Like
Yeah.
500 puzzles would be easier to do than
For sure.
1,000, right? Okay.
For sure.
Okay, because like I'm looking at this thing and I'm thinking, and we have an inset of the one with the lady from Theranos, Elizabeth. Want to talk me how long it took you to build that one, and is there any system or strategy to puzzles?
well, I mean that didn't take that long, maybe 3 weeks, but it depends on how much time you're putting into it. You know, if you're gonna
Right.
put 1 hour in a day, it'll take you longer. But yeah, it doesn't take too long. But yeah, usually start with the border and then whatever I choose whatever color pops out to me first. So if the pink stands out, I'll build that. But with that one, I think I went with the letters first, and then I don't know which color I started with. Maybe the blue on the left there. Yeah.
She has really striking eyes, though.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So, I mean,
But the other thing I just wanted to add with
Yeah.
regards to the colors, because it is a morbid topic. It's the darkness of our society, right? But there is light in the darkness, and that is why I wanted it to be colorful. Is that we can learn from these things. We can find the light in the darkness, and that's my reason for including the color, and it's what I stand for. Like, there are terrible things, we're all aware of it, so let's educate ourselves, let's learn from it, let's see that.
and then you mentioned actually that, crime is something that's kind of been there. So let's rewind a little bit before you came to the puzzles. Like, is that what did you want to be growing up?
I suppose when I was 14, I decided I wanted to go into some form of law enforcement.
Like, did you have law enforcement in your family, or?
No, I think that was growing up in South Africa. We have a very high crime rate at the moment. We have 84 murders per day. So it's always a hot topic. I grew up on a farm. Farm attacks were rife, especially then. So it has always been we're always exposed to the negative part of the society. And I think it fascinated me too. And that's why I eventually went and studied criminology and went on to be a crime analyst and
Wow.
did that.
And so was that also kind of your own way of finding the light in all that darkness too?
I think I am a very positive person, and I think being exposed to a lot of the bad makes you see the good, You just need a little crack of light in the darkness for the whole room to lighten up,
Talking about light in the darkness, there's this whole other thing to you where it's like, oh, I'm gonna get the name wrong now, but it's about like where you actually bring smiles into people's lives. Do you want to tell me more about that?
So that's called Love and Smile SA.
Yeah.
And I started it with my friend Monica. We were chatting one night. She mentioned she wanted to get veneers. I said, are you crazy? Your teeth are perfect. There's no need for that. And she told me about when she was young, she grew up, she wasn't able to get access to toothpaste and toothbrush. And, I thought I was traumatized from my braces. Little did I know, like, I had so much. And, and the next morning I just woke up thinking, is there something we can do about this? So I phoned her, I said, what about let's start a little charity? Let's see what we can do. Even if it's just a little bit, give a few kids some toothbrushes and toothpaste. And obviously she loved the idea that same day she came to my house. We set up the GoFundMe account, set up a little Instagram account and started sharing it on our social media. And so far we've been successful. Our goal was just $1,000 and we now have 1,050.
Holy shit.
So we've already done our first batch of handouts and that was 350 kids we've helped so far.
That's insane.
So the next batch will be another 300.
It's crazy because like things that some people take for granted are things that other people don't even have an experience of.
Yeah, we have no idea. So many people are lacking the basics. And I mean, toothbrush and toothpaste, it affects your life in so many ways, social, your relationships, your confidence. And I mean, as you know, in Africa, the most beautiful smiles, we want people to smile broadly and not to ever feel ashamed of that. So I am happy we've made a little bit of a difference. We've helped some schools in rural areas and also a children's home. So,
holy shit. Yeah, I mean, so where is that from? Because there's this thing about you that I'm picking up in that you have this idea, you don't let it just sit down as an idea. You have to go ahead and go and do it. Like, I want to be, okay, I'm going to go study this. I want to do the puzzle thing. I'm going to go build it.
Yeah.
And now with the charity also. So where do you think that push to actually physically do the thing comes from?
I think a thought means nothing without an action. We think all day and what's the point? It's wasted if you don't do something about it. And at least try. We've got to try. That's all. That's all we can do. Is keep trying.
It's just an internal thing. It's not like from family. Like there's no one that kind of like pushed you as a kid, or this is just you.
I mean, I did have a supportive family.
Right.
I've always been encouraged by them. It definitely helps, I think. Yeah.
Talking about that and family and support, one of the other things you do is you love traveling a lot.
Yes.
I mean, you're from South Africa, you're living in Canada now. Where did the travel bug come from and what do you love about traveling?
So, funny enough, my goal was to work in crime, right? So I went and I studied it and I realized when I finally got my first job, as an analyst, I parked in the parking area and I realized I have no other goals. I was like, this was my goal and I've accomplished it and now what? So I started thinking that I need something to work towards and motivate me. And I thought, well, let me make it traveling. So every month I saved up a little bit and I got my bonus and I travel. I made it a mission to travel every single year to a new country.
Oh, wow. What are some of the countries you've seen?
I've been to obviously a lot of our neighboring countries, Botswana, Mozambique, the Seychelles. I've been to Australia, Greece, Sri Lanka, Thailand.
So you've been to all these countries. Like, if you were to pick your, let's say, top three, what would those top three countries?
Greece is number one.
Whoa, why?
Greece, it's just lovely.
What?
The atmosphere, the food, just the whole vibe about it.
Yeah, I keep hearing the food in Greece is nice.
It's amazing.
Okay.
It's amazing. And it's very affordable.
Okay.
So it's just, I loved Greece. Sri Lanka, it's got also amazing food and waterfalls everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just gorgeous. All of them have their own beauty, their own cool vibe that makes them so unique. The cultures in all of them are just lovely. Yeah, I don't know which one I would place third. Seychelles was nice, but I was only there for a very short time. I was there for work.
Okay, so you've been to all these countries and stuff. How did you now decide on moving to Canada?
So originally it was Australia. I wanted to go there because of the weather, but I wasn't on their skilled migrant list. So I applied to Canada, and I applied at the end of 2019. So
Just before COVID.
just before COVID. So the
Right.
process obviously took very long. It took me 3 years. I had to do everything twice, you know, your medicals, your police clearance, all of that. It was a very frustrating process because, yeah, as a skilled migrant, you have to prove all of that. It's quite complicated. But yeah, eventually got the approval, got the provincial nomination to come to Nova Scotia. I didn't even know about Halifax at the time. I had no idea. But yeah, the more I looked into it, the more I liked the idea of this site. I was thinking Vancouver or Toronto, you know. Anyways, it was the softest landing I could have ever asked for.
Right.
Beautiful province. The people were so friendly. The minute I landed, I made friends. This family helped me at the airport, and I landed on the 14th of December, 14th or 15th, and I ended up spending Christmas with this family I met at the airport.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just amazing. And on the second day, when I went to open my bank account, is where I met Monica, who I started the charity with. Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay, well, yeah, that's really soft landing. Okay, so with the puzzles, if people want to get the puzzles, how can they reach out to you? You mentioned the website. What's the...
Yeah, well, it's Puzzled by Crime, and then the Instagram. I also have a Facebook page. It's still very new. Still learning how to do this. But yeah, my Instagram, I suppose we can leave a link in the bio or
Definitely,
something.
yeah.
And then I'd say best would be, if you're in Halifax, reach out to me and I'll be able to get that delivered to you.
And you mentioned that you sold out your faves at the market.
I did.
Do you want to
They
talk a
took
little
some
bit
of
about
it.
the market?
Yeah, it was the Oddities and Curiosities market. So a bunch of very interesting things.
Yeah.
Interesting things. Mine was tame, I thought.
Okay.
But yeah, it went well. The first time showing people, a lot of people were interested. I had one lady come to me. She says, "Oh, my son loves Charles Manson." She's like, "I don't mean love. I just mean,
right.
he's interesting. It's interesting how he influenced so many people." Yeah, it's fascinating. And I mean, if you enjoy colorful things, puzzles, keeps you entertained during winter, especially. Yeah, the market was nice to see that people were interested.
Right. And like, you know, it's one thing for people to order it online versus it's another thing to have that interaction in person, you know. Okay,
Yeah, for sure.
and then with the charity, what I guess are some of the plans you have?
Well, yes. So we've done 2 schools and one children's home now, and we're gonna do. I'm still trying to work out the logistics on the next part, but we're thinking just to go to the townships and hand them out there. And then there are some other organizations and maybe some more schools. But we want it to be a hands-on approach. That's why I don't really want to use another organization. I like, because currently we've been dealing with friends, so it's they give us the invoices, they help us order, they help us hand out. So friends that are teachers back home, and people that we know that help out at these homes. So we want to, because I think I'm often distrustful of charities.
Right. Because, like, yeah, the money comes in, you really don't know what is happening with that.
Exactly. So at the moment, it's quite small, very manageable, and we're keeping it close. So I like that approach.
And like,
so we know we don't lose any money, you know.
exactly. But like, if people want to donate to the GoFundMe, you also
Yes.
send the link for that.
We'll have the link
Okay.
in the bio. Yeah.
Okay. So I usually let guests go by asking this question. A friend kind of asked me, and now I ask every guest that comes to the show. What is something, because you have this really eclectic life with all this and the criminal thing and all the traveling.
Yeah.
What is something that happened to you before 17 that played a huge role in who you are today?
Yeah, this question you prepped me for. So I think the best example, a lot of things happened in my life before I was 17, but the biggest and most impactful thing was my brother's passing. So he was 19 and taken before his time, let's say.
Yeah.
And I think that has motivated me a lot to live my life to the fullest. You know, he was deprived of that privilege. And it's one of my big motivators. Make the most of it, live without fear, do whatever you can do, take those opportunities and just enjoy it. It's life is good, life is fun. You've got to make the most of it. If you're blessed with this time, use it.
Yeah, wow, thanks for sharing that. I didn't even know. But you shared so much, and I'm going to let you go by sharing some magic with you.
Some magic.
Yeah.
Ah.
So here you go. You're going to write a number between 1 and 60. Do not show me. Once you're done, point to the camera. Any number between 1 and 60, and I'll try to tell you what your number
Between
is.
1 and 60.
1 and 60, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you have it down. You can show it to the camera. Either one is fine, but okay. You got it? Okay, cool.
Okay.
So your number can be, it's going to be in at least one card, but it can be more than one card, okay? So I'll need your help here. Is your number here?
Yes.
Okay. Is it here?
No.
No. Okay. Is it here? Oops. Is it here?
Yes.
Okay. Is it here?
No.
Wow. Okay. Is it here?
Yes. Yes.
It's here too.
Yes.
Okay, so it's here. Oh, that's a big one. Give me a second here. 54.
Yes.
Is it 54? Like,
It is indeed.
Okay, cool. Lize, thank you for all the cool things you're doing, and especially for the charity, because I've been to Salaris Pass and I understand why that's important. So thank you for all those cool things you're doing, and thanks for coming to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.